On 2K and the starting group for the Grizzlies. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Gigi Jackson is out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the center position. And for the Timberwolves, Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Rudy Gobert is out there with Randall. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard. Now that the new season is tipped off, Richard, how important is it to get things off to a good start?
I'd say it's fairly important, but this is a long season, Kevin. It's about sustaining a high level of play consistently.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Ja Morant. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly he hadn't established position there.
Gobert with a screen on Bane. DiVincenzo. Edey with the rebound. And here are the Grizzlies. Last time they met was in Memphis.
Yeah, and last time out, they sort of shot themselves in the foot with the foul trouble. That was what led to them having such an ugly scoreline.
They had to rely on their bench a lot in that game, and maybe it instilled some confidence in those guys.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those.
It's Morant with the drive. And Jackson throws it down hard.
The more time Jackson spins at the rim, the better. His length is a deciding factor in this game.
And, Richard, when it comes to Jaren Jackson, there's a lot to appreciate. My goodness.
Oh, I love that he can guard 1 through 5. Really a modern defensive NBA big man. He can go back to the basket or he can face up. He doesn't need the ball to make a huge impact.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Gobert finds McDaniel. Fires the 3. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Jackson, a screen on McDaniel. And it's Morant missing.
And he might have thrown himself off when he saw how much space he had from 3.
And showing he can make plays for others. Edwards moving it with conviction.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. Of course, Ja Morant's named first and foremost, so I asked him about the strategy. He said try to plug every defensive hole we see. I know if we give Morant any space, he'll try and slice right through us, so we can't have any cracks in the armor. A tall order for the defense against the unstoppable Morant. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Here's Morant after the basket by Minnesota. Outside for Jackson. Jackson setting the pick here for Bane. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
Showing off that deep, deep range. That is Desmond Bane.
Edwards, a screen on Bane. Randall left side. They get the rebound. Pass to McDaniels. Edwards against Morant. Randall outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Goes back up. Driving to the basket. And he sinks the layup.
And how about the touch there inside? And that's where Randall likes to get the ball, and you can see why.
Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. 1:36 left in the first quarter. And there's Jackson on the assist by Morant.
Sometimes Morant just makes this look effortless. He's such a gifted passer.
Morant with the steal. Misses the dunk. So for the Timberwolves, their last game, a win against the Utah Jazz. Edwards with it. He's picked up by Morant. Edwards passes to DiVincenzo. Fires the 3. And Anthony Edwards hits from deep. Edwards got 5 points so far.
And so good off the bounce. Edwards working on his shot off the catch, and it is paying off.
Jackson, a screen on Edwards. Here's Bain. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
The Grizzlies shooting their first free throw tonight.
And if we want to take a look back, they converted about 76% from the line.
Now here's Edwards. 5 points in the game, and he gets it to go.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Now here's Morant for three. Minnesota with the rebound. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Has to Gobert. Now Randall lets the three fly. Gobert, great positioning on the putback.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
McDaniels against Morant. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Bangs home the trifecta. He's got 8.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Yeah, as soon as these guys feel contact, they are just disappearing like they're not even there. You got to show some fire and keep defending.
Ja Morant has been leading the charge, guys, for Memphis. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we've got more in 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
Well, so far, their long-range shooting has been the story, doing damage from deep.
And also, guys, they're out-muscling their opponent. The points in the paint are piling up because of that aggression.
On the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. Morant is the point with Bain out on the wing. Jaren Jackson is out there with Edey. And it's Jackson in at the small forward. Randall outside. Pass to Edwards. Jacks up a 3. Here's McDaniels. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. McDaniels got 7 points in the game. Morant against McDaniel. And it's Morant missing. For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. And here's Edwards from the arc. Drills the three-pointer. Edwards got the lead up to 3 now for Minnesota.
And what a move, guys. I mean, he's absolutely embarrassing them out there right now.
Ooh, you can break all the ankles you want. You still got to knock down the shot, and he nails it.
He can't hit.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Yeah, it's a great look for him. One they'll try and manufacture again. Those are the shots you want him to take.
Outside for Randall. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
And Morant's got the ball here for the Grizzlies. They trail by 6. And you look at the Grizzlies' defense the last few years, RJ extremely disruptive.
Yeah, they've been top of the league in steals and blocks. That's just a part of the DNA in Memphis. It can be exhausting playing against guys like this.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Grizzlies retired Marc Gasol's number 33 last season. You may recall he moved to Memphis in his teens, watching his older brother Powell play for the Grizz. Mark said, I had a very unique perspective, that of a fan. When I came back as a Grizzlies player, I carried that with me. Kevin, that pride certainly showed.
Pride's a great word to use. No question, D.A. Thank you. And there's the call on Dante DiVincenzo. That is his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. There's a screen. Just 5 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Jackson from long range. Offensive rebound. A kick out to Bain. A three-pointer is right on target. Bain's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Off the catch, Bain has that repeatable shot motion. It's just so consistent.
Here's Edwards. It's DiVincenzo, top of the key. Randall surveying the D. Over Jackson. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And here's Edwards from the arc. And Bane pulls it down.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And then Morant slams it in.
Oh, wow. Okay, Ja turning it loose. Someone throw that man some water.
Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
And what a creative finisher. Edwards is so fast in how he gets up to throw it down.
Morant against McDaniel. Jackson kicks to Morant. And he drives in. Three-pointer. A new 14 for the Grizzlies. That's tipped. Jackson against Randall. The second chance effort. Count that one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut down to just one on the basket from Jackson.
Not just a scorer. Bane is willing to set up others and does a very good job of it.
Randall with the bucket.
After failing to get going in the first quarter, he's looked much better here in the second.
Here's Morant. And Morant throws it down.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you can give up some size, but that shows you how fearless he is, willing to attack the basket no matter who is in front of him.
And Jaren Jackson picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The three for DiVincenzo. Buries it from three-point range. DiVincenzo's got 5.
And that's one way to extend the lead. Continue to light it up from long range. They have all the confidence in the world right now from the three-point line.
Morant kicks to Jackson. Good, and a nice assist from Morant. Morant's got 4 assists in the game.
The way he can elevate over a defender from deep, very tough to contain outside the arc.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. The Timberwolves on top, up by 1. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Taking a look here at the Grizzlies, you really get to see what they're made of. After your hard work in the offseason. Yeah, you have...
And turning our attention back to that first half of action, guys, Anthony Edwards was in complete control. And that's all for us. Now it's...
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You know, Anthony Edwards has been exceptional here, guys.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
He always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
They've got Reed Conley out there with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And it's Miller, and it's Minot in at the power forward position. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half. Kennard against Conley. Bagley sets a screen for Kennard. Greg, every year, injuries are a huge factor in shaping the title race. And I'm guessing that teams should probably put more of a premium on durability. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I think all GMs take that into account. A team wants to be confident it'll have a stable roster over the course of a long season.
Bagley with a screen on Conley. Here's Kennard. It's good. Kennard's got his first bucket in this one.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Conley scanning the floor. Pass to Reed. Back to Conley. It's up a 3. Hits it from three-point range. Conley's got 5 now.
I'll tell you, you give Conley the ball and trust him to make the right decision.
Here's Kennard. And it's Bagley at the elbow. Here's Wells. And the dunk by Wells.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Great chemistry on display. He understood where to put the screen in order to free up his teammate.
Conley's shot is off. And Clark has got the ball here for the Grizzlies. Kennard for three. Buries the long-range jumper. Now it's a three-point Grizzly lead.
And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
And they look like a completely different team. I wonder what coach said to them at halftime to help spark this momentum change.
There's the screen. Here's Conley. Wells grabs the miss.
And you got to give credit to the D for never giving up on the play and doing just enough to bother him at the rim.
Inside, knocked away. Bagley dishes to Williams. Bagley sets a screen for Williams. Oh, he misses the dunk. Timberwolves trail by 3. Miller with the ball. Williams picks him up. And Miller throws it down hard.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Bagley sets a screen for Kennard. Takes the three. Here's Clark, pass to Kennard. Off target from outside. Minnesota's gone 6 of 14 with the three ball tonight. Just a little over 40%. Reed with a screen on Kennard. Here's Alexander Walker. Lays it up and banks it in.
Just focusing on the task at hand. That's all you can do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Kennard, the pass to Clark. In the corner, Kennard with it. Clark sets a screen for Kennard. Shot clock at 6. Clark outside. No good from outside.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Mike Conley's leadership is huge for the Wolves. Rudy Gobert says his presence on the court, but especially in the locker room, is invaluable. Coach Chris Finch said he's given us everything and more. Conley says to have this kind of trust from everyone is why I'm here. This is what I'm supposed to do. Kevin?
He is a class act. David, thanks. Kennard's shot is off.
Not that time, but that's a shot that he's going to make more oftentimes than not.
Shannon on the wing, Miller. Pass to Alexander Walker. Shoots over Wells. A shot by Alexander Walker, no good. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Kennard way outside. The long distance three is buried. Kennard's got 8.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Yeah, you don't have to be quick. You just have to be deliberate.
Miller finds Alexander Walker. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
And those plays can make a difference in a game like this.
Well, you know it's going to fire up, Greg, everybody on that bench.
And you can feel the jolt of energy that he sent through his team. That is a huge boost in a tight game like this.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
And for the defense, it's so tough to guard a big man with that kind of court vision and dime dropping ability.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hi, guys. Well, during the break, I was able to catch what the Grizzlies coach was talking about with his team. Now, he's not happy with the perimeter defense. He told them we have to hustle more out to the three-point line because they look real comfortable out there now. I want you contesting every 3 they put up. We'll see if that intensity increases on D. Guys?
Thank you, David. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jaren Jackson is out there with G.G. Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5 spot. DiVincenzo against Bane. Jackson, a screen on DiVincenzo. Pass to Edey. Morant left side. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. And the Grizzlies lead by 1.
Look, they are in front right now because of him. He keeps draining these shots at a ridiculous clip.
And there's the same dunk to finish it off. Boy, right down to the wire here. Still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
Outside for Jackson. Off target from three-point range. Minnesota's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it. 9 times they've missed. Pass to McDaniels. Randall with a screen for McDaniel. Randall with the ball. Now defended by Bain. A shot by McDaniels. No good.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And it's Jaden McDaniels with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. 2nd minute off the clock now in the 4th. They set the pick. Pass to Edey from outside the arc. Good. And a nice assist from Morant. Morant's got assist number 5 here tonight. And there's a whistle. That goes on Zach Edey. That is his first foul of the game. Here's DiVincenzo. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Love the pass there from Gobert. Always nice when your big man feeds his teammates.
Morant against McDaniel. And then Morant slams it in.
And this is where Morant really shines. The bigger the moment, the more he wants to capitalize.
DiVincenzo with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Pass to McDaniels. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And finished off by Edwards.
Such a gutsy player. Edwards wants to be the guy taking big shots.
And Morant's got the ball here for Memphis. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. From the arc. And there's Jackson on the assist by Morant. And the Grizzlies lead by 3.
Won't shy away from the big moment. No hesitation from Jackson Jr. on that shot.
Here's Edwards. Bursting off the floor. Edwards hammers it down.
I understand we're seeing some high-powered offense, but you've got to put up a little more resistance than that.
Shoot, this defense is giving me hope. The way I look, I can sign a 10-day and put up a few buckets on this squad.
Stolen by McDaniels. Edwards kicks to DiVincenzo. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
The defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Minnesota in the lead. On the wing, DiVincenzo. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. DiVincenzo's got 9 points now in the quarter.
Oh, nice read there from Edwards. He's all for sharing the wealth.
Pass to Edey. Looking to end the run. Minnesota with the rebound.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Gobert with a screen on Bain. For 3, Edwards. It's Edwards on the wing. At the elbow, Randall. And the rejection by Jackson.
Can't waste any time here.
It needs to be a quick shot and a quick foul.
A nice shot by McDaniel.
A fantastic decision-making big. Randall with the right choice there, finding the open man.
Morant with it. Now defended by Gobert. And it's Morant missing. Well, for the Timberwolves, they can just run out the clock here. And Edwards puts up a deep 3. From beyond the arc and then some. Edwards got the lead up to 9 now for the Timberwolves.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and
did not turn it down.
And that score probably slams the door for any would-be comebacks. And look, they put this one to bed.
And so Minnesota takes the win. They didn't make. All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. Along with breaking.
Clippers starting group. Harden and Powell, their backcourt. Kawhi and Zubac make up the front court. And it's Jones in at the small forward. And for the Timberwolves, Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. We're excited to be here for opening day tip-off, Doris. It feels like the league is in a great place.
There is no doubt, B.A., absolutely. To me, more talent in the league right now than potentially we've ever had before. And I don't just mean star talent. There's a depth of quality skill across the board. We know the shooting has revolutionized the game. It's going to be a fun year.
The kick out to Edwards. There's the triple. Rebound by the Clippers. They're a team with momentum in the midst of an 8-game winning streak.
Well, this is a basketball team that's really humming right now. And what you love is they're working together as a unit, which makes it fun to watch. What I'm curious about here is when teams start to adapt and take away their best strategy, how do they keep the streak going? Really, really interested to see how this plays out.
Here's Powell, following the score by Minnesota. That one drops for him. Powell's gotten his second bucket on the night.
Wow, with contact in the restricted area, Norman Powell, pretty play.
Well, Doris, you won't find too many players that can provide the instant spark that Powell does.
Brian, you know that expression, know your role and star in your role. Norman Powell knows my job is to come in and give my team a boost. And this guy comes in thinking score and change the game, and he does just that.
Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. Outside for Randle. Back to Daniels. Let's go with a 3. Book it. And it's Randle with the assist.
I'll tell you, totally fluid mechanics by Jaden McDaniels. Ready in the catch-and-shoot situation, folks. Boy, 4 for 4 to get things started. Must have been a good shoot-around this morning.
And it's Derek Jones with the foul. That's his first foul. Randle outside. Oh, they get a hand on it. Edwards with it. He's picked up by Jones. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Edwards. And yep, it's good.
They've really come out swinging, hitting 4 of their first 5 shots.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Randle against Leonard. Zubac with a screen on Randle. Leonard outside. Pass to Powell. Here's Zubac. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. Jaden McDaniels picks one up.
Make no mistake, with that frame and that touch, Zubac's a tough cover in close.
And it really feels like the chemistry of this Timberwolves team has taken a step forward.
And B.A., you know this. Winning always enhances that energy and chemistry. But beyond that, this is a roster full of players that have had individual success, and now they're hungry and thirsty for team success, because that's the true measure.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, the Clippers' talent level is unquestionable, but they can...
And in a game this close, they're going to challenge the call. Coach does not agree with it, and he wants them to take another look at the monitor.
Still disputed even after the video review.
There's no doubt there's going to be a gray area in a lot of these calls, but at least we have the option to take a second look so the officials can be sure they get it right. So they see clear evidence of a bad call, and they're going to overturn it. Probably the right decision.
And give credit to the officials for recognizing the mistake and correcting it. Nobody likes to say they got it wrong, but they fixed it in a hurry.
And Kawhi Leonard gets a whistle that time. That's his first foul. And there's 1:45 left in the first. DiVincenzo, nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
How about Gobert with the find? On time and on target. Nicely done, Rudy.
Powell against DiVincenzo. Powell right side. There's the 3. Leonard can't get it to go. The Timberwolves have gotten 5 of 7 shots to fall. The offensive rebound. McDaniels passes to Gobert. It's good.
Looks like we're starting to see a pattern here. Not afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
Clippers trail by 3. Harden with it. Really played well against Golden State in his last game. The 3 is up. And it's Gobert with a rebound. End of quarter management here. They can go 2 for 1.
Make the math work in your favor. I just love the ball movement.
And Harden's got the ball here for the Clippers. 35 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Jones. Pass to Zubac. Shot clock at 5. 3-pointer, Harden. They get the rebound. Jones. Back to Zubac. Now Leonard. Zubac with a screen on Randall. Here's Leonard. There's the drive. And it's going to be a goal. Always one of the more disputed calls in the game. He'll use his challenge.
This can be a tough one. With goaltending, it's such a fine line. Clear and conclusive evidence never comes into effect more than on these calls.
Well, that's what's great about the coach's challenge on calls like this. We're able to slow down the action and see exactly where the ball is when it's touched. Hard to do that in real time. And here we go. The call will stand.
That'll cost them a timeout and their one and only coach's challenge. Goaltending calls can be so tough to make. You understand why he wanted a closer look at it, but we'll see if he regrets it.
And for those of you just tuning in, second quarter action is where we are. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
In the early goings, their effort level has been exceptional. The speeding around the defense and opening up options with good penetration.
Yeah, and their assertiveness in the paint so far tonight has been impactful. They're really making it hard for the interior defense.
So here are the 5 for the Clippers to start the second. Harden and Powell, their backcourt. Kawhi and Zubac make up the front court. And it's Jones in at the small forward position.
Okay, James Harden showing you I've still got the vertical in my bag of tricks.
And Doris, the Clippers with new jerseys, a shiny new arena, and an ownership group that is very aggressive. They want some shiny hardware to go with it.
Yeah, you have to appreciate an ownership group that is willing to spend and make all the right moves in order to position yourself for the championship. But now the players need to come through. And what has been their undoing in recent years is injuries and the lack of availability of their best players. Age and health still hover over this organization.
Harden, pass to Leonard. From the arc. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Outside Edwards. Down low. Here's Gobert. Off target. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Clippers trail by 8. Leonard passes to Zubac. And it's slammed in by Zubac.
Well, Zubac's always around the rim. You love the quick strike there.
Here's DiVincenzo. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Woo! When you finish like that, you deserve to brag.
Impressive, no question.
How about that from your point guard?
Oh, big finish.
Oh, did you see that?
Wow, Julius Randle with a little flavor on the finish.
Leonard with a screen on McDaniels. Harden finds Leonard. Back to Harden. Outside Jones. Screen by Leonard. Jones, the pass to Leonard. Over Edwards. Leonard can't get it to go.
That's a shot he'd like back. He's usually going to make those.
And Kawhi Leonard gets a whistle that time. That'll be a second foul of the game.
Well, that's 2 fouls on him early. He'll have to be careful not to pick up another one.
Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Gobert. Here's Edwards. Here is DiVincenzo. Clock at 6. Oh, there's the alley. slams it in.
Oh, my goodness. The athleticism of Anthony Edwards on full display.
Well, Doris, we've heard Anthony Edwards declare himself as the best player in the league.
Well, BA, when you got the game to back it up, you don't mind putting yourself out there. And Anthony Edwards has charisma, highly skilled, and he's fearless when it matters most. Look out for the Ant-Man.
Powell, a screen on McDaniels. Harden from outside.
Well, Jaden McDaniels is long, folks, and he can put a lot of pressure on with his ability to maneuver around that basketball floor.
Out to DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. Kept alive.
They have no answer defensively inside.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed here in the second quarter. McDaniels against Harden. Can they get it? Leonard outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Zubac screen. Fires from deep. And the Clippers miss again.
He didn't make them pay for that weak defense, but they just can't rely on him to miss those kind of shots.
DiVincenzo, pass to Gobert. Over Zubac. Again, the Timberwolves score.
They're really working the paint now.
Clippers trail by 16. Outside Harden. .43 seconds left in the second. 6 on the shot clock. Leonard with a screen on McDaniels. Here's Harden. And Harden with the slam.
Oh, my. James Harden with a statement right there.
Outside Edwards. Outside for Randall. The 3. Fires in the triple. Randall's got 7 now in this quarter.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Man, this is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Well, that three-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
Edwards. Oh, he got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's Minnesota, a sizable lead of 14 at the break. We hear teams talk about wanting to get the ball inside, but this is how you do it. We'll be right back.
Taking a look at the Clippers. Like most teams right now, they're optimistic. We'll see how they handle the first couple of games.
Yeah, And moving on now to that first half. Tough sledding so far for the Los Angeles Clippers. And that is going to do it for us. Let's get back.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Boy, you got to like what we're seeing from Anthony Edwards.
He was getting into the lane easily that first half. It's just relentless.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far the defense has not been able to counter it.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there with Mike Conley. Then it's Miller. Then there's Naz Reid. And it's Minot in at the 4-man position. So that's the lineup from Minnesota.
Oh, my goodness, the creativity and flair from Ben Simmons. Stop it now. Don't hurt him, Ben.
And that one's good from Conley. Grant, there's such intense rivalries at the college level. Do any of those carry over to the NBA?
Oh, BA, they sure do. I was part of some serious college rivalries. There was a lot of trash talk with the guys on the other side. It didn't stop that much after we got to the NBA.
Bogdanovich from long range. Reid with the rebound.
I'll tell you what, they rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Alexander Walker with the bucket. Alexander Walker's gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Simmons. And it's Simmons with the jam.
This close to the rim, Ben Simmons just leaves, no doubt.
Minnesota leading by 15. On the wing, Alexander Walker, defended by Bogdanovich. Here's Reed. The rebound by Eubanks. The Clippers have got 2 of 3 from the floor in this third quarter. Bogdanovich passes to Simmons. Outside Bogdanovich. And then Bogdanovich with the dunk.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
The floor general Conley, dependable at finding his guys in screen and roll sets.
Pass to Simmons. Back to Bogdanovich. Simmons with a screen on Conley. 5 to shoot. Here's Bogdanovich. Soft touch off the glass. Bogdanovich has got his second bucket on the night.
They're not messing around. 5 of their last 6 buckets have come from the interior. Oh, not the defensive effort they need to cut into the lead.
Boy, good call. You have to at least try to protect the rim.
You're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
BA, forget about attempting the long-range 3 to cut into that lead. Just attack the rim, my man.
Man, that was sweet. Doris, not long ago, the Clippers were not associated with star power.
It's very true, BA, but they are now. And it's not just the talent that they have. It's the experience that their guys bring to the court. They now have a core of big-time players who've been through virtually everything in the league.
And so it's Simmons with it. He brings it up for the Clippers. It's a 13-point game. Man, that one's good.
Their defense just falls apart once the ball goes inside.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
First team foul.
Boy, Ben Simmons, one of the most highly scrutinized players in the NBA, but I don't think you can doubt any of his defensive abilities. Cross-positional and big-time asset on that end.
And it's out of bounds to Minnesota. .133 left in the third quarter. Reed, a screen on Bogdanovich. Here's Alexander Walker. 5 on the clock. Reed sets a screen. Shoots it from the high post. The rebound by Simmons. Clippers trail by 10. Pass to Coffey. And 1:01 left to play in the third quarter. Batum with a screen on Conley. Coffey, the pass to Batum. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
One of the things I admire most about Nick Batum is how consistently he gives effort through 48 minutes. Plays with his head in the game and giving his all-out effort every play.
And it's a completely new group for the Timberwolves. Picked by Gobert. Shoots. Edwards finds Gobert. The kick out to Edwards. Here's the 3. Edwards on target.
This guy is constantly refining his game, and Anthony Edwards is dangerous from 3.
Simmons against Randall. Pass to Eubanks. Back to Coffey. Jacks up a 3. And it's Gobert with a rebound. Gobert's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
And they're +5 on the boards after that rebound.
Back to Edwards. Randall outside. Gobert passes to DiVincenzo. Picked by Gobert. Up in time. And that's not going to go. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves closing out the... And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist to the game.
Talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. So, on the floor for the Clippers, Harden and Powell, their backcourt. Kawhi and Zubac make up the front court, and it's Jones in at the 3 spot. McDaniels with it. Harden picks him up.
They are unconscious from outside, and so far, the defense has had no answer.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Leonard passes to Harden, out to Powell. Who poked away. The Timberwolves lead by 14. Outside McDaniels. Gobert with a screen on Leonard. McDaniels from long range. It's rebounded by Zubac.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
And that closeout certainly made a difference.
Well, no question. He altered that shot, and most of the time, that's just as good as blocking it.
Sends it home from three-point land.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Powell against DiVincenzo. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock. Powell passes to Zubac. Off the window, it's good.
Now, this is where Zubac's most comfortable. Good work on the interior right there.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 to open the fourth quarter. Outside McDaniels. Back to Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
How about Anthony Edwards? The bounce. Go ahead, Anthony.
Pass to DiVincenzo. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
And Edwards slams it in.
The Ant-Man is in the house. Mr. Anthony Edwards making it look easy.
McDaniels against Harden. Leonard with a screen on McDaniels. Harden, the pass to Leonard. Over Edwards. Shot by Leonard, no good.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
Edwards for 3. They get it back. McDaniels passes to Edwards.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Second chance effort. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Second personal foul.
It's going to be on Ivica Zubac.
Anthony Edwards is a load to handle as a defender. This guy's got the frame and the skill to make it very difficult.
And Doris, you watch Anthony Edwards year to year. He just keeps reaching a new level.
He wants greatness badly. He's putting in the time, to get there. Anthony Edwards, the shooting, the confidence, the leadership, everything's growing. He's now producing like an MVP. Look out, everybody. Here he comes.
And the NBA has made a significant investment in the G League over the years. Grant, you can really see the impact it's had.
Yeah, BA, and it's grown into a real minor league for the NBA. The NBA needed something like that for a long time, and it's helped the product.
And Jaden McDaniels picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul so far. Well, Doris, there's no doubt who the face of the NBA has been for a while now. Who might that be in 10 years, though?
This is such an intriguing question to me, Brian, because some of the guys that come immediately to mind, Luka, he's been a presence on that first-team All-NBA almost since the onset of his career. Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren are now 7-footers who are multidimensional. One guy that I don't think is talked about enough is Anthony Edwards. Highly skilled, highly charismatic.
They came out and had a statement win with their performance tonight. A fantastic effort to get it done here for the Timberwolves.
They were the more accurate club, and in the end, that made the difference, Grant.
Yeah, BA, you have to love their strategy. And even more, you love the execution.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
They had their number all year long. That 4-0 record says it all. They had the advantage in every crucial area.
And when you look at the game, the one thing that helped fuel this team to victory was the efficiency for Anthony Edwards.
So impressed with his performance today. He was confident, he was composed, and the defense just didn't know how to adjust.
Outside for Randall. And the three-pointer goes.
With very little left on the clock, they've got a comfortable lead, and the fans are loving it.
Well, they're getting ready to celebrate, no doubt. They know it's theirs to lose at this point.
Harden surveying the D. Leonard with a screen on McDaniels. Out to Leonard. This one for three. It's rebounded by Rudy Gobert. Now Edwards. From deep three-point land. He can't get it to go. So we see the Timberwolves taking the W here. Well, Allie, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast.
For both of these teams, Brent Barry, the fans are full of optimism.
Well, the seeds have been planted in the offseason, Kevin. What's about to bloom for these franchises as the year goes on? I mean, lots of movement around the league, but it's about the growth of your favorite team and watching these storylines play out as teams march towards the playoffs. A long ways away, but tonight's where it starts.
And the Clippers starting five. The guard pair, it's Harden and Powell. Down in the block, it'll be Kawhi next to Zubac. And it's Jones in at the 3 spot. Here's Morant. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. A fantastic stretch this group has strung together. 8 wins and counting.
Watching this team operate at this elite level, firing on all cylinders. The way they're going right now, this winning streak could go on for some time.
Now Morant. After Norman Powell missed from long range. Jackson from long range. Here's Edey. Morant outside. Bane against Harden. 5 to shoot. Second chance shot. Bane, no good.
Early on, 3 misses to open the game. Their offense right now still trying to find its way.
When you think about James Harden, he's had such an effect on the game. Brent, they changed the rules because of him.
Well, it's interesting, Kevin, because you can think about it a couple of ways. There was a system change for James Harden to try the system, and then, as James has said himself, he became the system. So leaning into all of the analytics of basketball, you have to have somebody who can represent all of the things that system would require, and it came in the form of the beard for many years. And that kind of offensive output is something that is going to be, we'll be hard-pressed to see that again, Kevin. The finesse from Harden there, that's great stuff.
Grizzlies have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Now, here's Morant for 3. An absolute bomb from 3-point range.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Leonard with the screen on Morant. Harden the pass to Leonard. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Man, right off the bat, super sharp here offensively. 4 of 5 so far.
Morant kicks to Jackson. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Oh, quick thinking from Jackson. When he's rising and firing fast, you know he's in the zone.
To the middle, inside. Here's Leonard. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Powell sends a screen for Leonard. Lets it go with a 3. Tries it again. And the layup by Powell.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
And Morant's got the ball here for the Grizzlies. 6-point game. Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Pass to Edey. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
Oh, his competitiveness right now is why the teammates love him.
And here are the Clippers now, following the score by Memphis. Leonard, no luck.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Puts up a deep 3. And it's Morant missing. Los Angeles leading by 4. Leonard on the wing, guarded by Morant. Powell, the pass to Leonard. Back to Powell. Here's the 3. Edey with the rebound. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And that one's good. Morant.
Something that Morant continues to work on. When he's hitting from deep, he is basically unguardable.
Here's Harden, and the jam by Harden.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Jackson, a screen on Powell. Morant And the layup falls. Morant's got 8 points.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Zubac, a screen on Morant. Stolen away. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Clippers. And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for Los Angeles.
And they've set the tone from the jump. They're looking to pound it inside and score in the paint.
So much good energy and flow tonight, and it has really come out of great ball movement. Guys have been open, and as soon as they are, they get the ball.
Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Jaren Jackson is out there with Edey. And it's Jackson in at the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thanks. Ja Morant was the first NBA guard in a quarter century to lead the league in points in the paint. He says, I can't just rely on dunking every single play, so I need different types of finishes to get my shot off, whether it's high off the glass, the reverse, or hanging in the air forever. And Kevin, he just says it so casually. Back to you.
I know it. But look, David, he doesn't do it casually, right? He is a one-man circus. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
What a powerhouse move from Kawhi, getting right to the rim.
It's an odd stat, but what I'm going to throw out there anyway, the Memphis Grizzlies set an NBA record last season for players used in a season.
Kevin, this isn't football, right? They had 33 different guys suited up last season. That tells you how difficult it was. Constant change, hard to build chemistry, and let's face it, hard to win games.
Al Harden following the miss by Ja Morant from deep. Oh, and the dunk by Jones.
Well, Harden in sync with his teammates, and he's looking to create whenever he can.
Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game.
Second team foul.
Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Clock at 6. It falls for his 5th field goal tonight. Now shooting 5 for 8.
And what a show Morant is putting on. Every time he touches the ball, you feel like he's going to score.
Morant against Harden. Leonard with a screen on Morant. Harden kicks to Leonard. It's good. The assist that time from Harden.
3 points.
Leonard's got 12 points in the game.
Don't sleep on Kawhi's range. He'll burn you from down deep.
Morant against Powell. Morant looking around. Jackson a screen on Powell. Now here's Morant for 3. Morant with another miss. Here's Harden on the wing. Guarded by Bane. Here's Powell. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4. Where there's a lot of emphasis on three-point shooting, Greg. What's your opinion of that?
Well, Kevin, stretching the D isn't just about how far out they have to defend. It's the distance between that and how far in you have to defend. That's why analytics favors shots at the rim and from distance.
And here's Harden following Ja Morant's 3. Harden outside. Back to Leonard. 11 feet away. Ja Morant grabs the rebound. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Pass to Jackson. Morant against Powell. Morant outside. And Morant throws it down.
And the agility, the hops, Morant just explodes off the floor.
Morant against Harden. And the jam by Harden.
Gives the team such a great element having a one guard who can get to the 10.
Certainly something every team wants to have.
Like to see that assertiveness, especially from the guy who's going to orchestrate your offense.
Greg, with how explosive John Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
And it's Harden with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. We've got 28 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Leonard sets a screen for Harden. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
There's so much talk about James Harden and how much he has just mastered the offensive end of the floor. What do you work on in the offseason? I don't know if there's much other than to stay as sharp as James Harden has been throughout his career. At this point, you might as well go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
The 3. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Los Angeles on top, up 3. And all right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
Hold on, I just got an alert on my phone. Ooh, half off bowling after the game tonight. Who's in? And as for our game here, we have to talk about James Harden. That was quite a first half performance. And that's all for us. Now it's...
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. Guys, John Morant has been sensational.
And guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside with some ease. Not much resistance out there.
So with Leonard on the bench, here's who Tyronn Lue's going with. Batum is out there with Drew Eubanks. Then there's Ben Simmons. Then there's Bogdanovich. And it's Coffey in at the 3. Bagley, no good.
Well, he wants that one over again, I guarantee that. Nobody's even in the neighborhood.
Simmons left side. Pass to Batum. Back to Simmons. Lays it up off the glass. Simmons got his first 2 points of the night.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Kennard wide open. He shoots. Sinks the triple. Kennard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The Clippers in the lead. And it's Simmons penetrating. And Simmons slams it in.
And look at the momentum Simmons gets on the drive, and he turns it into a huge slam.
Kennard against Simmons. On the wing, Williams puts up a 3. And Simmons with the rebound. Clippers leading by 4. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. And the layup's good off the glass. Simmons got 6 here in this quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, the Clippers are inaugurating their new arena this season, and they're set to host the All-Star Game next season. It will mark the 7th time that the LA area has hosted the All-Star facilities. Kevin, there will be no shortage of stars in attendance.
That's always the way it is in LA. You're so right, David. It ought to be quite a spectacle. Oh, the lob for Simmons. Hells with the steal. And here we go. The Grizzlies on a fast break. And it's Clark slamming it down.
Quick off the floor and powerful. Clark loves to attack that rim.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. And Simmons slams it in.
And there is no better way to add to the lead.
Isn't that true, GA, especially when the slam is coming from the point guard?
Oh, yeah, his teammates love that one. I'm sure he's going to hear about it when he gets to the huddle.
Simmons against Kennard. 6 on the shot clock. And there's the drive. Sweet little floater. Kennard's got 5.
What is it about lefties and shooting? Just pieces of art. Kennard with another.
Simmons looking it over. The Grizzlies pull it in.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
Kennard for 3. Nailed from three-point land. Now just a 1-point Clipper lead.
Coach is wanting Luke Kennard to get aggressive with his shots. That's a nice catch and shoot.
Outside Bogdanovich. To the paint and stolen by Williams. And now Wells pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
And that's up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate the open court when a steal triggers the break.
Outside Bogdanovich. Simmons sets a screen for Bogdanovich. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here, and Simmons slams it in.
And this is why you must get Simmons out of the paint. So fantastic when it comes to finishing above the rim.
He doesn't look satisfied with the lead right now. He wants more, and he looks like he's going to get it.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Bogdanovich with the screen. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And the technical free throw, missing that time. They'll retain possession here, however. So Memphis ends up going with the new group. 20 seconds left to play in the third. Harden against Morant. Just 5 on the clock. Harden dishes to Leonard. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Morant outside. Jackson. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Clippers lead by 2. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Morant is the point with Bane out on the wing. Edey out there with Jackson, and it's Jackson in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Here's Morant, and he banks in the layup. Morant's got 21 in the game.
And no problem for Morant that close to the hoop. Once he gets inside, he makes it look easy.
Here's Harden. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
This looks like he's got more feel tonight, like he's really got a good grip on that ball as he's letting it go.
Jackson a screen on Powell. Shot is good in the Los Angeles leads. Cut back down to 2 points on the basket from Morant.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Morant against Harden. From deep 3-point territory. It's rebounded by Memphis. Stolen by Zubac. Jones looking for an opening. Harden against Morant. Leonard sets a screen for Harden. Chalk up 2 there. And the Clippers lead by 4. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
And they've shown great focus on the defensive end, putting constant pressure on the ball and really disruptive in terms of what they've done defensively.
Man, scoring off of turnovers is so helpful. I mean, you get easy opportunities at the rim. It devastates the opponent. They've done a great job tonight at converting on those chances.
Harden against Morant. Harden outside. Zubac's a screen on Morant. 4 on the shot clock. Another miss by Harden.
D giving him that shot, and that's probably not a good idea, but I guess they knew what they were doing that time.
Down low. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
High-level passer, even for a point guard, Morant shows the imagination.
Harden with it. No, but he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. Zach Edey picks one up.
Big bucket. Harden proving once again he can be counted on. And I want to think twice before sending him to the line again. He gets locked in when the game gets close.
Jackson setting the pick here for Morant. Pass to Edey. It's deflected, and that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Real close, and I'm sure next time you might time that a little bit better and get a hand on it.
Powell with the steal. To the inside. Harden with the stuff.
And this is what great players do. Harden understanding how to deliver in a big moment.
They get a hand on it. Powell with the steal. One-on-one fast break. And the dunk by Powell.
Great effort and gets in a little razzle-dazzle at the end of that one.
Yeah, why not? Show a little creativity, get inside, move that ball around. Just make sure you score.
Jackson against Leonard. Outside, Jones. Shot clock at 5. Zubac's a screen on Jackson. Jones. It's rebounded by Memphis.
This is a do-or-die possession. They have got to get points.
You can't make any mistakes right here if you want to keep hope alive. Their execution has to be precise.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And between his footwork and height, Jackson is a tough matchup for defenders. Here he takes full advantage and draws the foul.
Jackson hits both of them.
And great work at the line there to chip away at the lead. A few more productive trips here, and things could really get interesting.
Here's Harden. Field goal number 9. He's 9 of 12 with that basket.
Well, Harden just outworking them inside. Could we say he wanted it more?
Morant outside. The Grizzlies with another miss. And so it's Harden bringing it up for Los Angeles. Outside Leonard. He takes it in, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Morant against Leonard. The 3 ball. Can't get it to fall. So the Clippers with the win. A truly gutsy thank you, David. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for
Hi, and thanks for... Let's check out Minnesota's starting lineup. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. And for Memphis, manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Bane. Jackson out there with G.G. Jackson. And it's Edey in at the 5 down low. For NBA fans, early season games are so entertaining to watch, Grant. What's your favorite part of the early goings?
You know, B.A., take your pick. Rookie development, team chemistry building. Plus, you wait all off season to see how your team measures up. And now, we get to find out.
Oh, and there is Jaren Jackson. Fantastic play.
Yeah, good touch from Jackson Jr. Ready to score inside when given these opportunities.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That's his first foul of the game.
And in the last 2 possessions, they've painted a picture of what not to do. Just way too loose with the basketball.
And here's Memphis. Now Morant takes a 3. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
Yeah, you know, when Morant's hitting from out there, he becomes unstoppable.
Outside for Randle. Pass to DiVincenzo. Out of bounds. It'll be Memphis's ball. We played just over a minute here in the first. The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Jackson the screen. Jackson on the wing. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Bane. Memphis needs to get off a shot. That's good from Jackson. On the assist from Bane. Jackson's got 5 points.
Man, just in time. Jackson racing against the clock.
Will it go? It's Edwards with a drive. Ja Morant grabs a miss. Memphis has gone 2 for 3 from outside the arc. Well, if you went into the lab and created the perfect wing, it might be Desmond Bane, coach.
Well, Brian, this guy's so strong. He can guard bigger guys, and his three-point numbers are crazy. Desmond Bane well over a 40% three-point shooter for his career.
And it's Edey missing. And so it's Edwards who brings up the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Still without a basket in the game. Randle outside. On the take. And it's Randle with the jam.
Oh, Randle put some extra on that slam, entertaining the fans and the broadcasters.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
I was able to talk with Memphis' head coach for a minute. I asked him how Rudy Gobert alters their usual game plan. Coach acknowledged that he's a factor and said Rudy definitely demands more from us offensively. We have to be careful where we put our shooters with him waiting for swats. Coach thinks intelligent offense is what it takes to beat Gobert. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Allie. Jackson, the pass to Morant. And then Morant with the dunk.
Best dunking point guard in the game, Ja Morant.
Outside Edwards. Pass to McDaniels. Back to Edwards. Right side McDaniels. Off target from outside. Memphis leading by 5. Outside Morant. Here's Edey. Jackson on the wing. Pass to Jackson. Jackson with a screen on DiVincenzo. And it's going to be a 24-second violation. They turn it over. And since we have a moment, here are last year's most efficient scorers around the league. Second is Rudy Gobert.
So consistent from the floor. He shot it at a great clip last season.
Edwards a screen on Bane. DiVincenzo to pass to Edwards. And Edwards slams it in.
Well, talk about a guy who plays above the rim, Anthony Edwards.
Morant looking around. Hits a three-pointer. Morant's got 8.
The big story thus far, how well they've shot the rock.
Here's McDaniels. And he makes it on the layup.
Smart idea from McDaniels, looking to convert inside.
Randall outside. McDaniels against Morant. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
When you use it right, the pump fake's as effective a move as there is.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Morant against McDaniels. Pass to Edey. Knocked away. 3-on-3. Here's Edwards. Gobert inside. Outside Edwards. No good on the buzzer beater. Ja Morant, he's feeling it tonight and has... And it's been a pretty even game here after 1 quarter of play. All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Grizzlies?
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And something else I've noticed is how they've been able to cause turnovers and take advantage of them on the offensive end, not wasting those extra chances at all.
On the court for the Timberwolves. And is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. Stan, back in your early coaching days, what was the dynamic working with the front office?
Well, I was in good situations, and so you need the coach and the front office in sync, where you're all working toward the same goals and you understand what the process is going to look like.
And how in sync were you when Stan was the coach and Stan was the front office?
We had problems then because the coach didn't like the front office very often, and the front office was always unhappy with the coach. Well, the word dynamic really only scratches the surface with Ja Morant. The way he moves, his speed, it's all just on another level.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Brian, Anthony Edwards, his disposition just brightens a locker room. Coach Chris Finch said he's an absolute joy to coach. Always in a great mood with a great smile. It doesn't matter if he plays well or he doesn't. Every day he has the same approach and the same attitude.
And he wants to be great, Allie. There's no doubt about that. McDaniels with it. Jackson in his pocket. Count that one. McDaniels got 6 points. And now we get a little perspective here on how the hustle game has been for the Timberwolves.
But our coaching staff has to be happy with how active they've been defensively, forcing turnovers and making the offense uncomfortable.
And I've also liked how they've attacked the opposition off of turnovers. I mean, just making them pay for every mistake out there.
Now here's Edwards. Playing Utah, he was nearly unstoppable. Randall can't hit. Grizzlies trail by 4. And one thing that Morant has always been elite at, finding a seam in a defense and getting to the rim.
Yeah, any crack allows him to get inside. And as good as anyone at splitting a double, which he sees a lot of. So once inside, he can finish with authority or kick it out to a shooter.
DiVincenzo on the wing. In his last outing, 16 points for him. And it's Morant with the ball for Memphis. On the wing, Bane. And he drives in. DiVincenzo with a steal. McDaniels got room. Gobert finds McDaniels. Puts it up. And that one goes. 4 for 7 for him so far.
He's had it going offensively, helping them build this lead.
Morant against Edwards. In the paint, Morant puts it in.
Yeah, Morant just continuing to assert himself offensively.
To the middle. And stolen by Jackson. And here's the fast break. And that one goes in as he's fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts the free throw. Rim protection and shooting, so important. Jaren Jackson Jr. has both of those skills, Stan.
Yeah, and look, Brian, it's rare to find guys who can do both of those things. Shot blocker at the rim and stretch the defense at the other end. Guys like that are hard to come by.
He's been a defensive player of the year. Maybe we'll see him in the three-point contest.
Picking up right where he left off. Hit 2 triples in the first quarter. Now he gets another to fall.
Denied by Morant.
Well, that's the kind of energy they want to see from Morant, making an impact with his defense.
Here's Edey, defended by Gobert. And here's Morant outside. McDaniels with the rebound. Minnesota's gone 2 of 6 from distance here in the second quarter. DiVincenzo, pass to McDaniels. For 3, Randall. And again, it's Minnesota with a 3.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
McDaniels against Morant. Kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson against Edwards. Jackson, pass to Bane. 4 on the clock. Here's the pick. Here's Edey. He hits it just before the shot clock expires. Edey's got his first basket.
Looks like we're starting to see a pattern here. Not afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
And Edwards slams it in.
Well, when Edwards gets this hot, all an opponent can hope to do is limit the damage.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Out to the right wing. Left side Bane. Jackson on the wing. DiVincenzo covering. Pass to Edey. Shoots over DiVincenzo. And the shot falls short that time. And he makes no mistake. Slam dunk.
Slams it down with 2 hands.
Man, they're really getting aggressive now. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. It's Minnesota up by 5. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
You know, right now for Minnesota, you really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason. Yeah, you...
And now let's discuss this game. Talk about a strong start for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I know my partner.
And that's it for halftime.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. Oh, a fantastic game from Ja Morant in this one.
What makes him an exciting player is the ultra-aggressive mindset that we saw over and over in the first half.
Yeah, he hasn't been settling. He's getting to the rim, and that's him at his best.
They've got Williams, Brandon Clark out there with Marvin Bagley. Then it's Luke Kennard, and it's Wells in at the 2. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. Kennard, left side. It's Bagley, high post. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
Usually just seen as a knockdown shooter, Kennard has good instincts as a passer as well.
Recently, player health has been the big talking point around the Memphis Grizzlies stand.
Yeah, B.A., look, and it's really a shame to have such a talented, dynamic team have to deal with all those constant what-ifs and have their seasons so affected by things outside of their control. It's tough.
For 3, Conley. Pure from three-point range. Conley's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. And Mike Conley picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second team foul. Timberwolves substitution.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Kennard outside. Six to shoot to the inside. Bagley passes to Clark. Oh, and Reed with a block.
Well, Reed really gets after it on defense. He's a big man that loves coming up with blocks.
The three is up. Out of bounds. It'll be Memphis' ball. All right, a chance now to take a look at the steals over the last few months for Jaden McDaniels.
I get the feeling he hasn't been paying as much attention defensively as he should be. His steal numbers have dipped in the past few months. He needs to get back some of that intensity on defense.
And he commits the intentional foul.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Kennard outside. He takes it in. Just 5 on the clock. Fires from the wing. All right, Coach, what are some qualities you're looking for in a lead guard?
Well, look, you want a guy that can make plays, that can control the game. When I first got into the league, people thought about point guards as traditional pass-first guys. But now it means more than that. You want a guy who can make plays, whether it's for himself or for his teammates.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
And, Coach, how about Naz Reid, the 2024 Sixth Man of the Year award winner?
Yeah, Brian, sort of unique. We often associate that award with shooting guards, but although he's a big, Reid is more than capable of putting up big numbers, including from long distance.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Bagley sets a screen. And again, it's Memphis missing.
I'll tell you what, they've been a...
Oh, he packs it down!
That is incredible.
And this kind of six slam is just one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now, B.A.
You know, there's an edge the way they play and a confidence they're not afraid to show.
Grabs the board and goes right in for the putback. I love it, B.A.
Yeah, wanting to close the gap. Makes sense to get aggressive on the glass here.
Such a confident shooter. Reid was ready as soon as the ball got to him.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Grizzlies great Marc Gasol last season retiring from basketball, he embraced the city of Memphis. He said, quote, I think a player has to feel that it's their city and they have to fight for it. You play with a different mindset when you do that. To me, winning was the most important thing.
And they did a lot of winning, Allie. Launches a three. Williams grabs the board. Grizzlies trail by 8. Kennard with it. Now Alexander Walker defending. Kennard outside. Clark with the screen. Here's Wells. And another three from Memphis.
Yeah, you have to be so worried about Kennard's shot. That opens things up for others.
And it's Alexander Walker penetrating. Here's Miller. And that one drops. And the Timberwolves lead by 7. Memphis has gotten 6 of 11 threes to go in this game. Williams outside Bagley. Pass to Kennard. Bagley sets a screen. That one's good for 2. Kennard's got 5.
It's interesting. They definitely had more three-point attempts in the first half. Not sure why they went away from it.
Outside Reid. Back to Alexander Walker. Reid sets a screen. Banked it in off the glass.
Defensively, they've got to get more bodies in the paint. That's 3 straight field goals from below the free throw line.
7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Kennard on the wing. 5 points in the game. Takes the 3. Here's Bagley. Kicks it out to Kennard. Bagley sets a screen. Kennard passes to Bagley. Back to Kennard. What if it goes? That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves closing. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is pretty.
Fourth quarter action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. And a look now at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth quarter. Ant is at the 2 with McDaniels playing the 3. Julius Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1.
I always love the hard work on the glass. Just great activity.
And so Morant will bring it up for Memphis. Randle pulls down the board.
He's as surprised as we are. Most nights that bucket is automatic.
Walking foul call on Ja Morant. Second personal foul. First team foul.
And so it's Minnesota with it. 6-point game. Outside for Randle. Oh, a dunk and a foul! A powerhouse move. He's got a chance for one more at the line. Ja Morant picks one up. On the wing, Bane. Three-pointer. And he recovers it. Pass to Jackson. Tries again. Outside Morant. Shot clock at 6. Over McDaniels. The bank shot, no good.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul.
Gobert with a screen on Bane. DiVincenzo against Bane. DiVincenzo pass to Gobert. Rudy, a monster inside.
And they're building up steam, getting out in front and trying not to look back.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Back to Morant. Ooh, McDaniels with a steal. Edwards for 3. The triple hits for Edwards. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Minnesota.
Well, all you can ask for is your guys to be really active on D, and they've been more than that tonight.
And also attacking in transition has been working for them. I mean, credit them for running the break well and being opportunistic.
Oh, a big slam!
Oh my gosh, the athleticism.
And not often we get treated to a solo alley-oop.
Takes precision timing for sure. Edwards driving, and Edwards slams it in.
It's been an outstanding performance for them in just about every area.
Yeah, and to do it on the road, it shows how well prepared this team was coming into this contest.
And Morant gets it to go. Morant's got 5 points in the quarter.
And tearing them to shreds tonight. You know, when a player as versatile as Morant starts going off, look out.
DiVincenzo finds McDaniels. Outside for Randle. Back to Daniels. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Randle a screen on Jackson. Here's McDaniels. The rebound by Edey.
He expects to make every one of those, and we expect him to make them too.
From deep, Morant. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
It looks like it'll be a big win for them here. Time to just cruise to the end of the game and chalk up the victory for the Timberwolves.
In today's game, you need to shoot it well from 3. That was the difference maker.
Exactly. And the defense didn't rotate out quickly enough to disrupt their shooters.
And so this win marks their first victory of the new year.
And this is how they wanted to finish off this season series, with a win and evening it up at 2 games apiece.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Anthony Edwards.
Well, he was the catalyst for them tonight. Played a great all-around game, and you could see his teammates feeding off his energy.
The three-pointer off the mark. Tipped. And the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Edwards.
Almost had the steal. You have to love the pressure defense.
Yeah, deflections are a stat that a lot of teams track, disrupting the offense's rhythm and flow.
Oh, there's Morant with the slam. Here's DiVincenzo. Good. And the Timberwolves lead by 20.
Yeah, they blocked out the noise, blocked out the distractions, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
It is always a special feeling winning on the road. The degree of difficulty adding to that sense of accomplishment.
Outside Edwards. For three. On target from range.
That's an inspired ball club. They fought hard, and during the most important moments, they made big plays.
Yeah, they saved their best basketball for this home stretch, and they certainly earned this one. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you say? We give Morant about an 11 there?
Here's Edwards. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
First personal foul.
Man, he made sure to get his money's worth on that foul.
Free throw good, Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
And both free throws good for Edwards. And stolen by Edwards. Off target. And so it's Minnesota easily grabbing this one. Boy, this crowd has to be shocked by the way their team...
Have certainly grown since your time in the league. Do you think that can lead to too many voices in the locker room?
I really don't think that's an issue, Kevin, because no matter how many coaches you have, typically they are all in sync, and the head coach has usually put his staff together, and therefore they're moving in the same direction.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard position. Now, here is Harden. Turned in an outstanding game against Golden State. Fast break, Minnesota. And finished off by McDaniels.
Just doing it solo. Love seeing McDaniels grab that steal and take off and convert.
McDaniels against Harden. And that one, good.
Well, I tell you what, with Harden, sometimes it seems the more the defense bodies him up, the more determined and effective he is in scoring.
Now here's Edwards. Here's McDaniels. Driving the lane. Out to Edwards. 5 on the clock. DiVincenzo with the screen for Edwards. From 11 feet away. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation.
Clippers ball.
Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Harden against McDaniel. Kicks it out to Leonard. Back to Harden. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
And there's Gobert putting it right back in.
Double-digit boards, a regular occurrence for Gobert. Makes it easier to get those second-chance hoops, too.
Harden looking it over. To the paint. Jones finds Leonard. Clock at 4. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Leonard. Harden's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Harden showing you some of that grit, getting inside, positioning that time.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Here's Randall, and Randall throws it down.
I mean, if the defender is going to play off like that, then you know what's going to happen. There are going to be points put on the board.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And I look back at his numbers from the free throw line last year, 78%, so not too bad.
And, you know, the impressive ascension of Randall has been a lot of fun to watch. I mean, he's a double-double threat who plays with relentless energy.
Now here's Powell. 11-point game his last outing. Here's Harden. And Harden with the stop.
You see it less often, but make no mistake now, given the opportunity, the beard can still throw it down on your head.
Here's DiVincenzo. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Outside Edwards. There's the triple. Trains it from beyond the arc.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
You're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Now, here is Harden. He's got 6. There's the drive. And Harden with the stuff.
Phenomenal work from Harden there. The second he sees a lane open up, he attacks.
Timberwolves leading by 6. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Tyronn Lue and I had a few minutes to share, and we talked about the bruising big man, Julius Randle. He told me Julius sets the tone for them with his physicality. So we have to try and match that. We can't let him bully his way into the lane and get to his spots. We have to make him uncomfortable. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Harden draws the double. Zubac kicks to Leonard. No problems knocking that one down.
When you set him up more often than not, Leonard will knock him down.
Randle with the bucket. Randle's got 5 now.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense. Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
Randle passes to DiVincenzo. Back to Randle. McDaniels, a screen on Jones. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Plays with nice force. Randle heading to the line now.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game.
Julius Randle, shooting 2.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Well, he's certainly been on target with the free throws. Such an advantage when your bigs can knock them down from the line.
Here's Harden. He doesn't hit that one. And so it's Minnesota in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Timberwolves.
Getting downhill has really been impressive to me, not settling from the outside. They're going right to the rack.
And guys, they've also done a great job generating offense from their defense, forcing turnovers and making the defense pay for those mistakes.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Randle out there with Rudy Gobert. And it's DiVincenzo in at the point guard. Now DiVincenzo. James Harden missing on the 3.
I don't think the defense was ready for DiVincenzo to get assertive like that. Dunking right on top of him there. Oops, upside your head.
Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Leonard with a screen on McDaniels. Harden kicks to Leonard. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert. People like to debate. Greg, I don't know if this is you. What's better, Kawhi's defense or his offense?
Well, Kevin, I'll say this. Even if he was a subpar defender, his offense alone would have him among the league's top players. But his defense isn't subpar. At its best, it's elite.
Now here's Edwards. Lets it go from deep. Offensive rebound. Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
This is what the team relies on Gobert for, clearing the glass and finishing the play.
Harden outside. Takes it out to Leonard. Back to Harden. From downtown. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Harden's got it back down to single digits for the Clippers.
You know, he does so many things well, James Harden. It's easy to forget that he's top 3 all time in most three-pointers made.
Jones looking for an opening. Back to Leonard. Here's Kawhi with a throwback dunk.
Very few players have the combination of power and athleticism that Kawhi has. Electric.
DiVincenzo passes to Edwards. Back to DiVincenzo. Outside Edwards. And the 3 off target.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the D has to close down on quickly when he's ready to pull the trigger.
Jones dishes to Leonard. And another 3 for the Clippers. Drawing fouls, Clark getting to the line, all part of the game, but you think players try and draw fouls too often now?
I do in some cases, but I think it's more on an individual basis. I mean, players have to do what they need to do to try to score the ball, but I don't think anybody likes, 1, guys flopping the draw fouls, and then 2, whining when fouls aren't called.
Beautiful job closing the gap here. Let's see if they can sustain this run.
This game was in danger of getting away from them. They made a nice push to keep it close.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear, it's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
And so Powell will bring it up for the Clippers. A fantastic stretch this group has strung together. 8 wins and counting.
Just playing really solid basketball right now. They're trusting each other more out there and attacking as a group. They're a fist, not individual fingers, which has made them tough to beat.
McDaniels finds Edwards. From past the arc, Edwards cashing in from outside.
The challenge with defending Edwards, he's a 3-level scorer.
Clippers trail by 7. Harden outside. Pass to Powell. Leonard sets a screen for Powell. Kicks it out to Leonard. Kawhi drills the 3-pointer.
You see the competitor in Leonard matching the 3 from the other end.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Randall with the ball. Leonard picks him up. Outside Edwards. It's stolen by Jones. And here we go. A 3 from Leonard. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And that's it for the first half of action in what's been a very close game here. All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter.
Once they gain position underneath the backboard, it's hard to push them out of there.
And even when they don't have position, they have guys who will knife in
And now and that about wraps it up. And as the 3rd.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
So with Leonard on the bench, here's who Tyronn Lue's going with. You've got Drew Eubanks. Bogdan Bogdanovic is out there with Ben Simmons. Then there's Batum, and it's Coffey in at the 3. Here's Alexander Walker. Reed with a screen on Bogdanovic. Pass to Reed, just 4 to shoot. And it's blocked, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Chance now to take a look at some of the steal numbers over the scope of the last few months for Jaden McDaniels.
I feel like he hasn't been paying as much attention to the defensive aspect of the game as he needs to. His steals have dropped over the past few months, and he needs to get back some of that fire on D.
Bogdanovich, no luck.
You know, defensively, you just can't afford to give him that much room. They're fortunate that he missed that one.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Outside, Bogdanovich. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Bogdanovich has got his first bucket of the night.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
LA's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they let it fly from downtown. Clark, if you had one word to describe Mike Conley, what would it be?
Reliable, steadfast, dependable. And I know that's 3, but I wanted to give you 3 different words I could use to describe him. Only 2 seasons in his whole career has he not played at least 50 games. That speaks to durability and professionalism.
Foul to the Timberwolves. Miller, first personal foul. First team foul.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Simmons on the wing. No good on the shot. And stolen by Bogdanovich. The drive by Simmons.
And look at the momentum Simmons gets on the drive, and he turns it into a huge slam.
Pass to Reed. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
And a chance to check out the stats for Bogdanovich. Good season for him last year. Last season put up about 17 points per, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. The contributions he's been making on the floor have been a boon for this team. Great stretch of games for him.
Yeah, you know, they've given him more responsibility, and he's responded. And the way he's going, I think his role is only going to increase.
Here's Bogdanovich. Michael Conley making his last shot. Bogdanovich passes to Simmons. Oh, and the jam by Ben Simmons.
Goodness, Ben Simmons, unreal.
Conley into the lane. Eubanks grabs the miss.
That's exactly the look they wanted, guys. Right guy, right play, wrong result.
It's Bogdanovich on the wing. Covered by Miller. Pass to Simmons. For the lead. He takes it up and lays it in. Simmons got the lead up to 1 now for the Clippers.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Now here's Miller. Still without a basket. Fires from deep. Here's Minot. Terrific assist and nice finish. Solid play all around.
And you gotta love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of a grinded-out game.
Outside, Bogdanovich. Outside for Batum. Traps in the tray. And the Clippers lead by 2.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Miller finds Alexander Walker. Inside, Minot, and he bangs it home with one hand.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. To the middle, 6 to shoot, and the shot goes in.
This team really feeds off of one another in terms of their energy.
Perhaps the case simply that some kind of motivational speeches at halftime got both of these teams fired up.
Back to Alexander Walker. Out to Miller. Back to Alexander Walker. Reed with a screen on Bogdanovich. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And the game still closely contested as we end the third quarter. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to fire.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense, too. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. Edwards on the wing. He is joined by McDaniel. Gobert is out there with Julius Randle. And it's DiVincenzo in at the 1. DiVincenzo, the bounce pass. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. And so Harden will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. The lead is 2. Kicks it out to Leonard. Zubac with the screen for Leonard. Harden with a screen on Randle. Leonard attacking. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
This is how dominant Leonard can be. And once he finds his comfort zone, he keeps his foot on the gas. You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
Clippers leading by 4. Here's McDaniels. Out to Edwards. Randle with a screen for Edwards. Launches it. And he's good on the 3 ball.
Really like what Edwards did there. Assertive in the 2-man game.
Kicks it out to Jones. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. That gives them the lead. Edwards got a couple of 3-pointers now in the fourth for the Timberwolves. Los Angeles has gone 4 of 8 tonight from 3-point land, shooting 50% on the 3 ball here. McDaniels against Harden. Outside Leonard. Clock at 6. Gobert with the block.
No surprise Gobert sent that shot back.
Here's Randle. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Assisted by.
Now it's a 4-point Timberwolves lead.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Now, here is Harden. The Clippers need to get off a shot. The shot by Powell, no good. Timberwolves leading by 4. That bucket in no time at all. DiVincenzo's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And they've done some nice work as we've gone down the stretch here in the final quarter.
You can feel the sense of urgency they have to get this thing closed out as soon as possible.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
2 minutes remaining.
Harden outside.
2 minutes.
Outside Leonard. Just 5 on the clock. Off the run. DiVincenzo with the rebound.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
You know, guys, no denying it's been a rough patch here. I think they've got to run whatever is best in their playbook to get a good shot.
Now Edwards. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Doesn't get it to drop for him.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Fires for 3. The offensive rebound. Zubac. Harden outside. Pass to Powell. Clippers moving the ball around. Kicks it out to Harden. It's stolen by Edwards. Here's McDaniels for 3. Drills it from outside. And the Timberwolves lead by 10.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for Minnesota.
And they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, for them throughout this game.
Listen, they certainly weren't coasting despite what the score looks like. I love the way they came together, though, when everything started to look a little dire and really put the hammer down.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they cap off the season series with one more win. It's been nothing but W's, 4 straight.
We don't see conference opponents get swept very often, but this has been total domination.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
For 3, Edwards misses there. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. Much appreciated, David. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg.
love about opening day? What's tops on your list, RJ?
A lot of things, really. But, man, the energy in the building. This house is rocking. These fans are so pumped up and optimistic about their team right now.
And the starting lineup for the Grizzlies. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Bane. Jackson out there with Jaren Jackson. And it's Edey in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. 5 to shoot. Here's Morant. Pass to Edey. Shot is up. Good. And the setup by Morant.
And that gets us rolling. Ooh, what a tremendous atmosphere in here tonight.
And sometimes getting that first bucket puts momentum in your corner, but we'll just have to see.
Now here's Harden. Jones sets a screen. From the wing, Harden misses.
See, that miss right there, it's why teams try to avoid the mid-range jumper these days.
And when it comes to the Grizzlies, they're a team that's hungry to take that next step, Chris.
Yeah, and they've got the core to do it, BA. You got Morant, Bane, and Jackson. They're all all-star caliber players and still in their mid-20s. So they've got a lot of great chemistry and time to get it right.
Now here's Bane. Here's Jackson, and the dunk by Jackson.
The more time Jackson spins at the rim, the better. His length is a deciding factor in this game.
And Leonard, here we go. Oh, he packs it down right over Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, the level of creativity Leonard has is just special. He's capable of some really memorable throwdowns.
Morant lets it go from deep. Jackson can't get it to go.
Defense dodged the bullet that time. Total breakdown.
Harden, the pass to Zubac. The Grizzlies pull it in. The last time they came together was in Los Angeles, where they fell to the Clippers.
Last time, free throw shooting was their kryptonite. Just could not keep pace.
Now here's Jackson. The drive by Morant. Powell pulls it in.
Despite the miss, those are the kind of looks coaches hope to create.
Leonard passes to Powell. Back to Leonard. The three ball. Perfect night so far, 2 for 2.
And he's a selective three-point shooter. Kawhi only takes them if he feels he has a good look.
And Kawhi Leonard gets a whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First personal foul. Second team foul.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Jackson surveying the D. Shot clock at 5. Memphis needs to get off a shot. Edey. And again, it's Memphis missing. And so it's Leonard who brings up the ball for the Clippers. They're a team with momentum in the midst of an 8-game winning streak.
You can feel the energy in the air around this team. They know they are on a roll, and they are committed to keeping it going as long as they can.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
We know Kawhi Leonard is a former Finals MVP. Jimmy Butler said, there are guys that are like, quote, I'm going to find the best way to win. In a 7-game series, I'm going to get the best of you in the end. Kawhi's definitely up there. Whatever he's got to do, he is going to find a way. And Brian, Butler would know a thing or two about that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you know that. No question about his abilities. Richard, every team wants three-point shooters and rim protection. Jaren Jackson Jr. gives you both.
Oh, he is the prototypical big man. He's Defensive Player of the Year. He's led the league in blocks on multiple occasions, and he can stretch the floor and shoot threes.
Chalk up 2 there.
Excellent job converting inside. Bane's guys encourage him to be aggressive down there.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Crafty move. And the finish inside by Harden.
The floater is so tough to defend against. Nothing defenders can really do but shake their heads.
Morant against Leonard. They set the pick. The drive by Morant. And that one drops for him.
And when Morant takes off towards the basket, look, you're already done. You've already lost because that's how he makes his living.
Now here's Leonard. Really played well against Golden State in his last game. Leonard with a screen on Morant. Harden, the pass to Leonard. Powell sets a screen. And stolen by Jackson. 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Morant against Harden. And he banks in the layup. Morant's got his second basket on the night.
He gets a lot of defensive attention, but Morant, he can expect this type of rough scene anytime he takes it inside.
Leonard for three. No good. Would have counted had it gone. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after this first quarter of play. And looking at what we've seen from the Grizzlies, what do you think, guys?
You can really see the strategy coming in. Get the ball into the painted area.
And let me tell you, when you establish a physical edge, it gives you a mental edge, too.
On the court for Memphis. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Payne. Jackson out there with G.G. Jackson. And it's Edey in at the center, locking down the middle. Now here's Morant. There's a screen. 6 on the shot clock. Morant with the close-range bucket.
That's 10 straight points they've given up in the painted area.
Clippers trail by 3. Harden scanning the floor. Drills it from deep. Harden's got 5 points.
You gotta chase Harden off that three-point line. He is too good of a shooter to be given any airspace from that line.
Morant, no good. Now the Clippers with it. To the paint. Here's Leonard. Jones in the post. Outside for Harden. Stolen by Jackson. And up the court come the Grizzlies on the break. Morant against Leonard. Here's Edey. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Leonard's got 4 rebounds now. And just about a minute and a half has passed here in the second quarter. And they take the lead. He's got 9.
And he's made his mark on offense especially. They got to be thankful he's on their squad.
Jackson with a screen on Powell. Right side Bane. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Desmond Bane. That's his first foul.
And great job to establish position and square up.
The Clippers have gotten 3 of 4 field goals in the second quarter. Morant against Harden. Leonard with a screen on Morant. Now here's Harden. He's covered closely. Clock at 4. Leonard for 3. Again, the miss by Leonard.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
Jackson, the screen. Stolen by Harden. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from deep in the second quarter. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Morant.
Let's just say that was an ill-advised pass there. Very close to a turnover.
Here's Powell. Still no points. Leonard on the wing. All right, on the line, we've got our insider, Shams Charania. What do you have for us, Shams?
Thanks. Many consider this summer to be the most challenging field in the history of international basketball. Nevertheless, Team USA got it done in Paris. It's not getting any easier, but the star power of the U.S. men's team shined bright in the City of Lights. Guys, a classic ending for a stacked U.S. roster.
What a performance. Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. Now here's Powell. We saw him with 11 points in his last game. Pass to Harden. Five on the clock. Fires the 3. That's tipped. Out of bounds as Los Angeles keeps possession. And a look here at the scoring trend over the last several months for Ja Morant.
And he's been on a roll during these last few months. Getting better in terms of scoring the ball and proving to be a key part of this team as we move farther along in the season.
Now here's Powell. Jones with a screen on Jackson. The drive by Powell. Tipped away. Stolen by Jackson. Bain with it. Picked up by Powell. Offensive rebound. Pass to Jackson. Going inside. Throws it down. And the official calls a foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to be on Ivica Zubac. All right, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Memphis.
From the very start of this game, they have been giving the ball handlers trouble, using good pressure to force turnovers and get steals.
And also their pressure defense.
Oh, my goodness. How about that?
Put your head down and go to work. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, when the game is up for grabs like this one has been, it's all about the attention to detail.
Wow, 8 lead changes in the first half. Unbelievable.
Yeah, both sides digging in for what looks like a war.
Moran against Harden. Screen by Leonard. Now here's Harden. Tightly guarded. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket is good, and he'll go to the line. Los Angeles shooting their first foul shot of the night.
Personal foul.
And Harden is capable of getting you a triple-double every game. His versatility is incredible.
Jackson, the screen. Bain surveying the D. Jackson with a screen on Powell. Outside Bain. Jackson on the wing. Shoots over Harden. Whoop, there's the shot clock violation. So they'll turn it over. Here's Harden. Give him 8 points now. From behind the arc. And so it's Kawhi Leonard making highlights for Los Angeles. 8 points in the quarter. Thanks very much, Allie. We'll be back soon to start the second half of basketball.
Their focus on defense has been inconsistent. Tough to win with lapses at that end.
Yeah, they got to clamp.
And during that first half, thanks for tuning in.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been a fairly even one. Without question, Kawhi Leonard displaying his skills today.
And in the first half, he dominated in the post. He got the looks he wanted and was able to execute.
The question now is, will the defense keep letting him punish them inside? Or did Coach have some new ideas for them?
We've got Ben Simmons, Nicholas Batum out there with Drew Eubanks. Then there's Bogdan Bogdanovic, and it's Coffee in at the 3. That's the group starting the second half for Ty Lue.
This is why you always have to chase guys off the arc, because everyone has a three-point shot now.
Here's Simmons. So it'll be 2 free throws. He was fouled in the act of shooting. It'll be on Marvin Bagley.
And for Simmons, everyone in the league agrees that the talent is there. It comes down to the health and being in the right situation.
That one misses. Memphis trailing here. Kennard outside. Clark. Pass to Williams. Back to Clark. Now Kennard. 6 to shoot. Fires for 3. Offensive rebound. Knocked loose. In transition. Here they come. Bogdanovic from long range. He drops it from range. And the Clippers lead by 5.
This is Bogdanovic's game. Catch, shoot, score.
Kennard for 3. Here's Clark. Out to Bagley. Pass to Kennard. Bagley sets a screen. From deep. Kennard can't get it to go. The Clippers lead by 5. Outside Bogdanovic. 4 on the clock. Three-pointer. That shot is off. Grizzlies trail by 5. Kennard outside. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Opportunity for a three-point play here.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
And he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight. And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for the LA Clippers. Second half of play here with just under 2.5 minutes passed. Pass to Coffey. The Clippers again with a bucket.
Some defenses are designed to yield the mid-range shot. For him, that's a good look.
Here's Kennard. Uses the glass on the layup. Kennard's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Another shot right in the lane. That's been their MO this year.
Remaining in the third quarter. 2 minutes.
Left side Simmons. Oh, sensational!
Yes.
What a dunk!
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. Big time clutch from Simmons. You see how powerful he can be.
And the foul on Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
That's his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
Out of bounds as Memphis keeps possession. And while we have a break, here were some of the top free throw shooters in the game last season. Bogdan Bogdanovic third.
Very steady at the line. He's a guy who isn't rattled easily, and that shows in his free throw shooting numbers.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Nice shot by Kennard.
And what kind of defense was that? You can't give up wide open threes like that. What are you doing?
Outside Simmons. Outside Bogdanovic. There's 1:12 left in the third quarter of the game. Here he goes. And the layup is good off the glass. Bogdanovic has got 5 now.
You like seeing Bogdanovic get it done inside. An opportunistic scorer around the rim.
Bagley up top. Wide open look. And he hits the jumper.
And you look at how they've come out in the second half. It's almost like night and day.
And they look like a completely different team. I wonder what coach said to them at halftime to help spark this momentum change.
Here's Simmons. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Simmons has got 7 now in this quarter.
This is what you like to see from Simmons on the attack, being the aggressor.
Bagley, a screen on Simmons. Nice shot by Kennard.
And credit his teammates for feeding him all quarter.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. Simmons, the pass to Bogdanovic. Back to Simmons. Second shot opportunity. 3 quarters of play. A close one here. Clippers ahead. They're up by 1. And when we return, we'll get... And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist to the game.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop that.
That's an unguardable pass, flat out. Give him credit for possessing that type of vision.
Well, this has been a great contest so far. I imagine the fourth quarter could have more action in store for us. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Manning the backcourt, we'll see Morant and Bane. Edey out there with Jackson, and it's Jackson in at the small forward position. Driving inside, pass to Edey, shoots over Harden. They grab their own miss. Morant looking around, outside Bane. Jackson the screen. With the clock winding down. The Clippers grab the miss. Outside Harden. And it's Ja Morant with the foul. That'll be a second foul of the game.
First team foul.
Harden against Morant. Leonard with a screen on Morant. And here's Harden. Just 4 to shoot. The 3. The rebound by Edey. Edey's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Powell against Morant. And there's the foul. It'll go on Norman Powell. That's his first foul of the game.
First team foul.
We played just over a minute here in the fourth. Here's Bane to take the lead. And so he draws the foul, headed to the line to shoot a pair. And they're not happy with the call here. Coaches get...
Shooting for Memphis, Desmond Bane at the line for 2.
Agreed that this would slow the action down. But with so many close calls in every game, the NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call was wrong, he'll back them up and make the refs take another look. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
During that last break, Coach Tyronn Lue had some advice for the team. He tried to loosen the tension a little, asking his guys, are we having fun? I know I am. Just relax out there and follow the game plan. We've got this.
Okay, thank you, Allie.
I know he's kicking himself for not snatching the lead. But look, he tied things up.
Harden against Morant. Clock at 6. Harden, the pass to Leonard. Oh, stolen by Morant. And up the court come the Grizzlies on the break. Morant caps off the break.
What an athletic play by Morant. He is just, it's ridiculous. Grabs the ball, sprints to the finish on the fast break, all on his own.
On the wing, Harden, pounded by Morant. Outside Harden. Just 5 on the clock. Count the basket and the foul. Ja Morant picks one up.
Making the circus shots. That's just a routine play for James Harden at this point in time.
That's good from Harden. The Grizzlies have gotten just 1 shot to fall out of 3 attempts in the fourth. Leonard against Morant. Morant taking no chances on the flush.
What I love about Morant is that he understands his strengths on offense, which is why he is so efficient.
Three-pointer, Harden sinks it from distance. Harden's got 6 here in the quarter. Oh, this one has turned into an absolute nail-biter.
Yeah, at this point, you almost expect it to come down to the last possession.
And that one's good. Morant.
ICE. Ice. He has absolute ice in his veins. This guy, he lives for these moments.
Outside Harden. Leonard outside. Beyond the arc. It's hauled in by Ja Morant.
Remaining in the game.
The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 5 since this fourth quarter started. Jackson with a screen on Harden. Kicks it out to Jackson. There's a minute 47 left in the game. 6 to shoot. It's rebounded by Zubats. Zubats has got 4 rebounds in the game. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
A minute 35 left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. Powell passes to Harden. Shot clock at 6. And looks like an illegal pick was set. That gets the ref's attention.
And this is the absolute wrong time to stop communicating. They have to get in sync.
And it's Morant with the ball for Memphis. So far in the fourth, they've allowed just 6 points. Ooh, got that one up quick. And it's a 4-point Memphis lead.
And this is part of Morant's role. As a guard, he's responsible for finding the open man.
Harden against Morant. Now here's Harden. He's closely guarded. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way. All right, guys, what's your take on the hustle stats for the Grizzlies?
Great heads-up defensive play tonight, creating offensive opportunities for themselves by forcing deflections.
Well, they've also been impressive, forcing a ton of mistakes. Not only that, but converting those mistakes into points on the other end.
Here's Morant. Yeah!
Great to see guys who don't back down under pressure.
He knew what they needed here and was determined to deliver.
Here's Harden. Count it! And that one brings them within one.
Few guys can be as trusted as Harden when you're in these situations. He knows how to get it done.
And Kawhi Leonard gets a whistle that time. That's his third foul of the game. And stolen by Jones. Oh, and the fast break for the Clippers. The shot no good. Oh, and Jackson with the defensive effort. And so it's Memphis with it. Expect them to take their time this trip down.
Yeah, B.A., the clock is theirs to burn.
Here's Morant. Cash.
Massive points from Morant, willing to take the big shot.
And Ty Lue has called a timeout. The pressure is on, and he's got a plan to share with his guys. From a coaching perspective, what are the keys to focus on here?
If they leave the arc open, take it. But it may be safer to get a quick two and then foul.
Yeah, time is the enemy at this point, so I think I'd go for the tie and avoid playing the foul game.
Outside Harden. Screen by Leonard. For the tie! And so the big win by Memphis in a tight game. With the late victory, they upset plenty of these hometown fans.
They really